Get a load of this. U.S. District Attorney in D.C., one Jeanine Pirro, is overseeing the case against one Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York, who is in a whole lot of trouble, you guys, for allegedly putting people that had COVID into nursing homes, thereby exposing the most vulnerable part of our population to COVID back in 2020. And somehow he got away with this. I don't think he's going to get away with it now. The DOJ has opened an investigation, and Judge Jeanine Pirro is leading the whole thing. Remember her from Fox? She used to have a show called Justice. Well, I went and dug up a few comments about what she had to say about one Andrew Cuomo, and it's not pretty.
Pervert.
Well, she had a little more to say than that. Let's start with this.
Andrew, your time is up. You've not only bullied too many people, you've crossed the line and violated the law over and over again. You're an arrogant, corrupt, condescending, conceited, self-important braggart bully.
Tell us how you really feel.
Pervert.
Yeah, that's kind of how she's thinking about one Andrew Cuomo right about now, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Andrew Cuomo, he's in the hot seat. He was there in D.C. yesterday. He did get questioned by a reporter, and he kind of shrugged off the question, said that nothing had changed in his testimony. You see, they're trying to get him basically under perjury, lying to federal officials, because when he was questioned about just exactly what went down, about how he moved people who did have COVID into nursing homes, that was not clear in terms of his answering. Let's go to him here.
Yes. Governor Cuomo, what do you make of the accusation that the committee is making that you withheld some records during the course of their investigation?
All baloney, as we would say in New York.
Do you expect any...
All baloney. The reporter went on to say, do you expect any ramifications from this? And he just completely ignored the question. So he wants you to know it's all baloney. There's no truth. That he absolutely told the truth last time around, and the DOJ has already decided there was no there. Of course, that was Biden's DOJ.
Department of Justice found we did nothing wrong. The investigations found that the New York advisory was wholly consistent with the federal guidance set by CMS and CDC. Two investigations found exactly that what New York did was implement the federal guidance.
Andrew, your time is up. You've not only bullied too many people, you've crossed the line and violated the law over and over again. You're an arrogant, corrupt, condescending, conceited, self-important braggart bully.
Okay. Oh, wow. And don't forget this.
Pervert.
It's as though Trump had to know. By picking Judge Jeanine Pirro to be the interim U.S. District Attorney in D.C., and knowing that this case was coming forward, he knew that this would have to be some spectacular fireworks. Anyway, here's the deal. He is being investigated at this point because of alleged false testimony to Congress. Andrew Cuomo is accused of basically lying under oath because he may have misled Congress during a 2024 closed-door testimony by denying any involvement in drafting or editing a July 2020 state health report. And in that report, they allegedly underreported nursing home deaths by 46%. There were emails, there were handwritten notes suggesting that Cuomo was directly involved in that report's creation. Okay, so that's the allegation. And the investigation is looking at how the administration under one Andrew Cuomo intentionally underreported the number of COVID-19 deaths in those nursing homes, because you see, he had this little directive back in March 2020, March 25th, mind you, 2020, that required nursing homes to accept COVID positive patients. I mean, it didn't make any sense, right? Because that was the policy that contributed to thousands and thousands of deaths in New York. And he's like tried to deny it. He's tried to say, oh no, we didn't have that policy. Oh yeah, you did, buddy. You did have that policy. They had mandatory admission, if you would. Nursing homes were mandated to accept these patients who were deemed medically stable for discharge, even if they were COVID-19 positive. There was no testing required. The directive also prohibited nursing homes from requiring COVID-19 testing before allowing these people to come in or readmitting people. And the reasoning the Cuomo administration tried to say was that the directive was intended to alleviate pressure on hospitals at the time that were overwhelmed by COVID-19 cases. So that makes a lot of sense. All right, you hospitals are struggling, so we're going to send everyone into the nursing homes, thereby infecting the most vulnerable people of all. I mean, boy, did they get this thing wrong. You could have actually done this the right way, protecting the people that needed to be protected, meaning the elderly, the sick, while allowing everybody else hopefully to go along with their business, for kids to be able to go to school, for people to be able to go to work. But instead, they shut the whole thing down and actually sent the most vulnerable people into the worst situation. And he got away with it. And then he came out with a book that he published on leadership, mind you. So I want to show you, here's some testimony that took place in September 24. And the Representative Maliatekis is saying, listen, you cite all this CMS data to claim that New York had the 12th lowest death rate at the end of 2020. However, CMS began collecting data in mid-May, so that those deaths, when your deadly directive was in full force, were not even included. So your administration's out there reporting 6,000 deaths when the true toll was actually 11,400. And then you assert your March 25th directive, remember the one that I just said, which mandated nursing homes must admit COVID positive patients. You assert that you never did that, which is obviously, she says, this is false. Your directive very clearly says, quote, no resident shall be denied, and it prohibited COVID testing before admission. So if this guy lied, if he's lying under oath, then that's a huge problem, right? That comes with all kinds of consequences, as we've discovered with some of these other people, lying under oath. I mean, lying to the federal government, you can get up to 30 years for something like that. And Judge Jeanine is not exactly going to go easy on the guy. So between the judge and between what he's been saying, I think he's got a lot of problems. I want to show you him here. No remorse, literally no remorse. He goes on local TV because, he's running for mayor of New York. By the way, he's trying to use this, much like Letitia does. He's trying to use this and saying that, they're going after me. Trump is going after me just because I'm running for mayor of New York. It's like, no, he's going after you because he wants actual ramifications for all the bad behavior that went down back in those days. He goes on local TV, Andrew Cuomo, running for mayor of New York, talks with Rosanna Scotto on Fox 5, and she gives him this opportunity to express remorse. And he's sitting there like he's still brilliant, that it was just, such a difficult time, difficult decisions. He will not show any remorse, any regret for the decision that cost thousands of lives. Second, do you notice how he says, you did this, you did that, you closed the schools, you put people... No, Andrew, that was you, buddy. You were the governor of New York. You were the one making the decisions. Again, no regret, no remorse.
Environment that government ever was going to happen.
I'm sorry, but again, no idea. How could you not know that when you take people infected with COVID and you send them into the nursing homes, as you did on March 25th, 2020, that's not good. Oh, you never needed them because you sent everybody into the frickin' nursing homes. Unbelievable. Okay, and he got away with this, and then he allegedly lied to Congress about it, and nobody did squat. Okay, but now Judge Jeanine is in there. I call her Judge Jeanine, right? Because she's a former judge, but her name is Jeanine. She's now acting as the overseer of this case. She won't actually be prosecuting it herself. She's going to oversee the prosecution for the DOJ as the U.S. District Attorney there in D.C. And his life is about to become HELL.
During COVID.
Okay, so now he wants to completely absolve himself of anything, right? It was just a horrible pandemic. All these people died. It is what it is. No, you know what? You could have actually made some smarter decisions, and you don't lie about your decisions after the fact, which is what went down. So you know what? I'm just saying, Judge Jeanine is coming for him, and we know how she feels.
Pervert.
That was related to some of his indiscretions with his staff, but she really doesn't like the guy. And it goes all the way back to 2006 when she ran against him for the attorney general position of New York. He got not nearly 60% of the vote. She got nearly 40% of the vote. And there's a lot of bad blood. So you know what? Her show used to be called Justice. And I have a feeling justice is coming for Andrew Cuomo. And you know what? That's a good thing. We need that. We need accountability in this country.